welcome to Bridging the Gap Foundation's 2025 Mascarade Gala. We are so happy to have you here, and I want to introduce you to a couple of my friends who are doing the work of Bridging the Gap with the utmost professionalism and gratefulness that I could ever imagine would happen. You guys, are you glad to be here this evening?
Great, happy to be here.
Excellent. I am so glad you were available to talk to us, to share about the wonderful things that Bridging the Gap Foundation has been doing and will continue to do. So why don't we start with introductions, and you cannot do it better than yourself. You want to start, Gary?
Yes, happy to. Gary Cohorn, I'm a LPC supervisor and a minister with the church. I have a practice in Richardson. Patrick LeBlanc, longtime friend, and we connected in community and kind of similar heart. He shared with me long before Bridging the Gap developed that what his dream and vision was. So it's been cool to watch it develop and be a part of that process.
And we have loved working with you.
Yeah, same here, same here.
Dr. Shelton?
Dr. Kimber Shelton, I'm a licensed counseling psychologist. I have a virtual practice and I specialize in cultural diversity, LGBTQ, trauma, and relationships. I met Patrick LeBlanc in a Starbucks, and he was talking about his ideas for what he wants to create in this community. So excited to see these things come to fruition over time.
Gosh, isn't that something in a Starbucks? I didn't know that part of your story. Tricia?
Well, hello, and of course it's great to be here with all these wonderful individuals and continue to do the work with the organization.
Yes.
I am Tricia Patterson, a licensed professional counselor, lead clinician in private practice at True Inspiration Counseling Services. Providing services for the great state of Texas. I specialize in treating adults with mild to moderate depression, anxiety, self-care, life changes.
And how do you know about Bridging the Gap Foundation? How did you come to find out about us?
I came to find out about Bridging the Gap Foundation through Dr. Stacia Alexander, who provided an outstanding and a wonderful opportunity for me to meet Patrick LeBlanc. And from there, we have just bonded and I've had the pleasure of working with the organization for the last few years.
Excellent. I'm glad that the reference worked out, right? Dr. Du Bois.
Yes, my name is Dr. Delaney DuBose, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have a private practice here in Dallas where I offer in-person and virtual sessions to male clients as my primary population.
Okay.
I actually met Patrick LeBlanc. He reached out to me through Psychology Today.
Oh, okay.
And I was actually happy to get that call because being an implant here in Dallas, Texas, I was looking for opportunities to be able to serve this population in the community.
Well, welcome aboard. So it was a cold call and a cold introduction, right, and two connections. Okay, so this is the perfect panel, right? Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are able to join us, and we can talk about all the great work that Bridging the Gap Foundation has done. So what we're kind of focusing on this year is the momentum that we have built with Bridging the Gap Foundation. What do you think about what Bridging the Gap Foundation has been doing in the community with aspects of mental health advocacy and helping to erase those barriers that people often face when accessing mental health? You want to start, and then we'll go back this way.
I think they've been doing a great job in connecting therapists with different types of specialties, different backgrounds that can actually bring like good quality care tailored to individual clients.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Bridging the Gap's work and how they are a part of the community, and they are also inspiring the community. So looking at what the community's needs are, the community needs more care for children, so they design a program for children. They need more care for people who are coming back into the community, so then they create a program for people who are re-engaged in the community, that men of color need their own care. So there's a program for that. So I really appreciate how the Bridging the Gap looks at who has a need and how to then respond to those needs.
Gary, you want to close it out for us?
Absolutely. One of the things that occurs to me, I'm thinking about times when Patrick and I were talking about, he was telling me his story about being a kid growing up, and he was big black, strong football player in a culture that said, don't tell your stuff.
Right.
Don't tell your stuff.
Right.
Don't tell secrets, don't show weakness, all that kind of stuff. And he is very open about his journey of some of the challenges of depressive episodes and those kinds of things. And it got pretty bad. And he thought, man, if that happens with me, I mean, how about other guys? I mean, he's a faith guy, and so one of the things I think about since the beginning of Bridging the Gap that began in COVID was that he had the courage to step out and say, if not me, who, and how can I help someone else? And that role modeled battling that stigma. It role modeled, the challenge of all the things that he's been heard about, he was told about as a younger guy. And so and that's continued to today.
Yeah, his story has resonated. Like,
Yeah.
can you see that? Like, his story, how many people has touched? Because when we did the numbers from 2024, there were over 800 sessions that we had, right? 126 people were served. Like, what do you think about those numbers and being a part of their work?
I love the 126 individuals we've been able to tangibly reach, right? But how about we shift that just a little bit and look at the exponential impact of that?
Exactly.
Because if we've touched 126 individuals, now look at this from the family perspective. Now we've impacted positively 126 individual families. With those 126 individuals we've served, we now have also impacted 126 workplace environments.
Okay.
We've also impacted 126 collegiate or classroom environments, church environments where people are learning and growing and developing. We've impacted 126 separate communities. So the impact is enormous, and it is amazing and wonderful to be part of that experience.
So Bridging the Gap has been steadily building for 5 years. I want everybody to remember that. 5 years we've been steadily building, and this momentum is going. What are you excited about? The possibilities for Bridging the Gap Foundation. What like gets you thinking like, oh, we can really do this? Like, we're making an impact.
Sure. One of the things that occurs to me is when Patrick was talking with the vision, talking to the team, the boards, and all that, he had a specific idea about who they might serve, who we might serve. When that's developed, there are some of those primary populations that have been served, but there's some other groups that were not on the radar. And so the flexibility that he's shown, the flexibility that Bridging the Gap has shown to pivot, work with this community, but pivot and work with other communities has led to part of this exponential impact. And I think, who knows what the next 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are going to be. Who knows where this is going to go if they be what they have been, which is flexible, we, flexible and pivot and be ready to impact other communities. So that's one.
The vision of Bridging the Gap, which is that everyone is deserving of mental health services, that we are all worthy of mental wellness, and that is a right that we have. It's not a luxury to have good mental health or strong mental health care. And with the vision being that that is for everyone, then I see the momentum continuing to grow, especially now with the way that our political climate is, that we need more help and more services. So I think the momentum will continue to grow because the need will continue to be there. But the foundation of the vision is, regardless of your area code, regardless of your skin color, regardless of the amount of money that you're making, you are worthy of having mental health care, and that's going to keep pushing the momentum forward.
Love that.
At this point, and you may need to take a few seconds or whatever, I do want you to look in the camera and just give one challenge, one encouragement or something to the audience that we can share, okay? So just look right in the camera and share.
Pay attention to that person who is needing help. Don't ignore it. Bridging the Gap is an excellent, foundation organization that can actually provide services for that person, so they are not alone.
Step out and take care of you. If you need help, please get it. Don't allow finances to be a barrier. Bridging the Gap Foundation is here to assist in that space, but you have to take the first step. We're here to help bridge that gap, but I encourage you, take your first step.
I challenge you to look inside and to determine what your strengths are. And to determine your strength, figure out then how you can use that to affect change. Whether it be participating in Bridging the Gap and providing your strengths through your volunteer work, through your support, through your donations, or something else in your community, how you can use your strength to strengthen someone else.
Anyone who's living life in this culture is going to be carrying something. We all do. And the reality is there can be some heaviness, some challenge, some frustration, emotions, all kinds of things that we carry. But the cool part of it is that there is help. There's help. In some dark spaces, there is light to be shared. And that's what I think Bridging the Gap is about. We're here to help connect with mental health resources.